Our focus right now is to make sure that we identify the perpetrators of fraud and prevent them from abusing the system, but at the same time recognize that there may be students in this cohort who are vulnerable, who were taken advantage of. The challenge that we have now is the fact pattern for each particular applicant might not be the same as every other applicant. So we're going to have a process in place that will allow the individual students to demonstrate that in fact they were innocently taken advantage of, rather than someone who has perpetrated fraud within Canada's immigration system. The issue of people who are abusing international students in this country is extraordinarily important to address. In the acute phase, we need to suss out this process to provide a pathway for those innocent victims of fraud to remain in Canada. At the same time, we ensure that those who have been complicit in fraud cannot take advantage. There's a bigger solution that we need to implement so we don't deal with hundreds each year who find themselves in a scenario like this. And we are now taking steps to strengthen the verification of letters of acceptance. In this particular instance that you're referring to, there was a bad actor in a third country who faked acceptance letters that were not caught at the outset. We're strengthening our partnerships directly with institutions, universities and colleges in particular, to ensure that we're only processing the applications for students who've been legitimately admitted into a program. To the extent that we can find an opportunity to recognize that there are victims of fraud who do not deserve to be deported, we're going to advance that. But it can be very, very difficult when you're dealing with a few hundred applications out of several 100,000, and the fact pattern on each one is not identical. So it's a challenging thing to sort through, but I have compassion for those who've been negatively impacted. And at the same time, I want to protect, for the sake of Canadian support for the immigration system, the integrity of the process to make sure that those who abuse the system through fraud are held accountable for their actions. And doing so on a case-by-case basis can be difficult. It can take a lot of time. And I recognize that there's serious mental health pressures for those who are in this predicament right now. And we're seeking to advance a solution for those who are truly innocent parties.